saw Queen Irene step out of the orrery? What a wondrous thing.
If you want to be in the militia, train like it.
A good suit of armor.
What do you want?
I hope to be done here soon.
Smell the sugar in the air?
The brightest, loudest throats croak your name, Biko. This makes it difficult to sleep, but under the circumstances, I think I can forgive you. That business with the egg tenders was no midday wallow. Now we have something to discuss, I think. Of course you do. This matter of the remnant, you must understand, it is fragile as a marsh robin's egg. Even so, I trust your heart, and truthfully, we could use the help. Brightthroats are negotiators, not warriors, and war is brewing. All answers lie with the Hist. It is just a matter of hearing what it has to say. Chime Maker Shuvu can help us. Our Hist speaks through the wind, you see. Its words rustle through the boughs, and our chimes sing out its counsel. Poetic, right? Old Shuvu spends his time in the glade of chimes, to the west of the village. In my youth, I would spend all my time listening to the chimes. It is a very good place. If you go there now, I will join you. You will like Chime Maker Shuvu, I think. Very wise and very pleasant. Like one of your gray-muzzled bark dogs. Let's make our way to the glade. The remnant. It is not a thing known, but a thing felt. Like rain on the shoulders, or a brief whiff of cinnamon grass. Difficult to explain to outsiders, I think. Ha, this is fair. When I was a hatchling, a very old Nahish elder told me a story about a lost tribe. One that lived far away in houses of stone. She did not speak about the remnant, but its name swelled in my heart. I do not know why. My knowing tree is barren. Sorry, Biko. Better to learn these things together anyway. For you, at least. Just think, if I knew where the remnant was, I would probably have hidden it by now. Then you would never get to see it. Is the name not clear? It is a glade. It is full of chimes. Some people think that the Hist speaks to us, just as I speak to you. Using words, you see. We call this kahupwo, the mouth talk. Very rare, Biko. Most Hist speak without words. In Brightthroat Village, the Hist speaks through chime music.
Your betrothed awaits you, dear suitors. No need to be shy. Everyone gets the jitters, but this is ridiculous. This is what I'm talking about. How hard is it to boldly strut up to a stranger and express some interest? You get it. If we had more suitors as stiff-spined as you, the ceremony would be well underway. The bonding ritual? Are you not here to witness our most sacred tradition? It's a beautiful, lively affair. Usually. Our guests have not seen fit to join us for the ceremony. Hist knows we have been gracious hosts to the suitors of our neighboring tribes, plying them with feasts and phlegm wine. But now that it's time to renew vows of kinship, they're limp as wilting lilies when they should be rising to the occasion. Normally, the Black-Tongue tribe are eager to participate. Many a Brightthroat can call the Black-Tongues their root kin. But the only thing Wakumat has been quick to provide today are excuses. I hope he'll be more forthcoming with you. Oh no, he is a bearer of Russell the Infirm. Russell is a frequent visitor and suitor, beloved sire to many a Black-Tongue and Brightthroat since before my egg mother was in her shell. Normally he would be first in line for the bonding. It's true, Russell must be carried about by his bearers for most everything. But before the bonding, he's like a Saxleal possessed. His vigor is legend. Last season's bonding ended with his bungalow stilts driven flush to the ground. The others are new to me. Bihuna is one of the root house people, so if she puts hands on you, it isn't a romantic gesture. Hold tightly onto any familial jewels. Dite, on the other hand, is as inscrutable as any moss skin. Never the ghost people or stone pile people, certainly. We used to see more of the mire dancers and copper eyes, but we haven't seen much of them since they were taken to Mazatoon, and sadly the dead water remained distant and reserved as always. Our longtime allies, the Black Tongues, the Moss Skins, and the Root House people. They aren't normally so apprehensive. The Black Tongues dwell in the shadow places, giving praise and offerings to Sithis. They take great pains to ensure as many of their clutches are born under the sign of shadow as possible. Perhaps too much, but I would not question their methods. Only when I'm reminded that they know every root and flower's killing secret, all the more reason to welcome them as friends, yes? You'll find no more attentive parents outside the Brightthroats, and they are great alchemists and gardeners also. We welcome them with open arms, of course, but only after our valuables are carefully tucked away. They take what they want by quiet theft or intimidation. Failing that, they take it by force. Better to give what you can afford to lose. They are brutes, yes, but useful brutes when war winds blow. Their strength rivals that of the Dead Water tribe. They just lack the Naga's wisdom. In the end, they are still our neighbors. Better to welcome them as friends than face them as enemies. The Moss-skins value peace above all else, and peace without requires peace within. They go where the river takes them, no matter the circumstances. Of all the tribes, they are the most serene. Death, war, lean years, nothing ruffles their frills. More indifferent. All the world's horrors, the quiet fears that keep men and Mur awake at night, all of it rolls off their backs. People think we Brightthroats take things in stride. The Moss-skins make us look like fretful ducklings. Of course, though I hope it will not take much longer. The Brightthroat betrothed have waited long enough already, I think. If we are to set the mood right, best to do so soon. It's the future of our tribe. The bonds we create today ensure the peace and prosperity of future generations by tying our tribes together as one. The bonding ritual ensures every generation of Brightthroats calls their neighbors Eggkin. Marrying? It is a joyous time, yes, usually. Most tribes have festivities surrounding bondings, but none compare to that of the Brightthroats. Travelers come from far and wide to join the celebration and witness the joining of so many tribes.
Is that... little Zukas. Come to visit your old friend in the Glade of Chimes? He is always so busy now. I recall when he stood only as tall as the Kepo grass. And you, Xavier, what can this stiff-legged crafter do for you? Remnant of... My. This is no small question, Zukas friend. Look around you. Each of these chimes sing out a tangle of melodies, but only one tangle. One chime speaks of eggs and hatching, another jangles about death and journey's ends. The Ogel is clever, Zukas. Yes, my hands gave birth to every chime you hear. But the remnant, only one chime can sing its truth. One made by sun-blessed hands in an old time. Older than my egg-mother's egg-mother. A chime as old as our tribe. Locked away, hidden under mud in lost memories. Understand, our egg-sires did not want this truth drifting free on the wind. But Zukas trusts you, so I will trust you. Go to the Wither Vault. Claim the chime. We will learn its truth together. The Wither Vault is well north of the village. I would guide you, but my knees grow stiff as kindling wood. Little Zukas can aid you, I have no doubt. Be warned, even bright throats who know the mire like their own scales face danger there. Since before he hatched, I called him the Little Stump. He would plant himself at the foot of the listening tree and stare up at the branches, listening, always listening. I thought he might take my place one day. You should ask him. Treeminder Pavu saw the old sap in Zukas. She made him a root herald, and his days grew short and lean like an underfed guar. Eventually, he had no time to listen anymore. All is as the Hist wishes it to be. One day, when he has grown old and thin like me, he may return to the glade. Until then, he does the tribe's work. There is no shame in that. None at all.
The path to the river is like an oxbow. Let's find this chime. Leaving the glade always puts rocks in my sandals. Sad, you know. One day the two of us should share some phlegm wine there and just listen. The swamp grows thick here. A far cry from Lilmoth's mud puddles, I think.
Verona? Drula? Where are you two? Hey, I know you. You borrowed a blessing stone from my construction site in Vivek City and stopped the moonlet from falling out of the sky. Now I feel kind of embarrassed. My current problem isn't anywhere near as important as saving a living god. Verona and her beloved pet Drula went for a walk in the swamp hours ago, and they still haven't returned. My wife can take care of herself, but she's as unfamiliar with this terrain as I am. I fear the worst may have happened. Verona saw some ancient Argonian stonework out in the swamp. She loves to study the techniques of long-dead masons. Use this whistle, and Drula should come running. If you pet him and tell him he's a good boy, he'll lead you directly to Verona. Drula loves that whistle. He comes running whenever we blow it. I'm sure Verona just got caught up examining an interesting piece of carved stone, but I appreciate you going to check on her. I'll just wait here in case they return. Drula's our bantam gua. Cute little slobberer was a marriage gift, and he's been with us ever since. He's more attached to Verona than to me, truth be told, and she's trained him well. Just blow the whistle and he'll come running. Verona constantly complains that we never take a vacation, so when the opportunity presented itself, I set up this trip to visit Murkmire. She was suddenly surprised, but I get the feeling she was hoping for somewhere with a bit less mud. We met on one of my construction sites. I was just an assistant overseer on that project, and Verona was one of our stonemasons. She's really good at her craft. Whenever she gets the chance, she loves to learn new techniques for working stone. Same as always, thanks to you. Bar Dao hangs peacefully above the city. Lord Vivek writes and sings in his palace, and our new archcanon has adapted well to his responsibilities. In fact, things are so quiet that we decided to take this trip.
Oh, Leviathan Pizzle grows across this glade. A very powerful herb, Pico. Remind me to pick some later. I cannot imagine the Brightthroats ever holding territory here. Very little wind, hollow seas, and poor fishing. Take away our wind, seas, and fish, and we grow very sour. There it is, just up ahead. This place dries my scales. No good thing comes from stone. Let's make this quick. I fear we will find more than the chime inside this vault. Be careful. The Nahish elders never speak of this place. Not even to me. Stay watchful, Biko. I hear something. The chimes. Good work, Biko. Let us get back to Brightthroat Village.
marsh owl hoots thrice.
The Daryl.
I almost feel sorry for the tribal Argonians. Almost.
aren't you at Foyen docks? I hear they never would have held without you.
A beast nesting in the Wither Vault, soiling the chime? My rage quill is engorged.
Be calm, old Shuvu. No one wants to see that.
The wind welcomes you, Zuka's friend. You have the remnant chime? Please, settle an old lizard's spines. The beast Zukas mentioned, it did not gnaw or shed water on it, right? Hist be praised. Take the chime to the listening tree and hang it there. When you are ready, clutch this prayer stone and focus. If your cause is just, the Hist will answer. If not, I guess we have to find a better place to bury this chime.
You're not cutting me off, are you?
Perfect. Now center yourself in the glade and focus the remnant's mystery on the prayer stone. We seek your guidance and ask the blessing of your song. Sap Mother, Bow Father, please hear our petition and speak the remnant's truth. I hear nothing. A tangle of whispers, nothing more.
That can't be. Wait, I hear it, Shuvu. I hear it. The Hist sings the remnant's truth.
Truly? Ha! Ah, little Zukas, I knew you had a chime maker's heart. Come, tell us what you hear.
I am confused. Shuvu is the wisest listener in the tribe. How could he hear nothing when I heard it so clearly? He is very old. Maybe he just needs his ear cavity flushed. Smoke of stars to see what once was seen. Sunless sap to hear what once was heard. A bramble of words. I appreciate the Hist's poetry, but this is not an ideal time for it, I think. I do not know. Hopefully Shuvu can teach me how to decipher the words. It will take time, but I will find you if I learn more. Perhaps friend Famia could help also? Or Cassandra. They both know the marsh's stone secrets. They could prove useful.
Hello. Cassandra said you'd be here. There's news. Well, you certainly have a spring in your step. Your work with the Bright Throats went well, I take it. Splendid! Following another lead on the Remnant. Or, potential lead. Someone she worked with before she started funding Cyrodiilic collections. I don't know much more. She asked me to tell you to join them when I saw you, so I suppose you should do that. West of here, near that spooky prison. Honestly, I missed most of it. Too preoccupied by her bodyguard. Something about how he looks at me. Gives me the shivers, you know? But we have better things to discuss. What did you learn with Zukas? Ritual Argonian poetry. The words are common, but the meter is all wrong. There's more to it. Missing verses, perhaps? Truthfully, Cassandra is the authority on that sort of thing. You should set out. I'll try to dig up a few relevant texts. Smoke and sunless sap. Strange that the Bright Throats hissed would speak in such dour terms. Maybe it describes some dark age. The Alessian incursion of the First Era? Or perhaps a dark age yet to come. Egads, let's hope it's not that. Ugh, I wish I knew. He's just the worst, right? She hired him maybe 6 months ago? I don't think Cassandra's ever received a credible threat to her life, but he's always there, leering at us. Maybe she'll sack him now that you're here. Fingers crossed. Cassandra summoned me. Honestly, it's nice to get out of the office from time to time. Thought I might take in a Tiba Inu match while I'm here. I guess it'll have to wait. I need to get back to Lilmoth to research this poem of yours. Oh, they're mostly fine, if a little shaken up. A few of them have sworn off exploring for good. Hard to blame them, I guess. Luckily, Zadaza chose to stay on. She would never let her career end with an abduction. Far too proud for that.
No use. Pockets have been picked clean.
Nothing is ever that simple. Good, you're here. You found us. Good. As you can see, we've met with some difficulty. I apologize for the unsightliness. Were your inquiries in Brightthroat Village fruitful? Murder, apparently. The victim was Hitsasi, a former associate. Not so pleasant or learned as Famia, but still useful in his own way. He traveled in less reputable circles. I had hoped he could shed some light on the blackguard's plans. That is what we are trying to determine. Whatever happened, it was neither clean nor brief. What a waste. If the blackguards came after him, Hitsasi must have known something about the Remnant after all. Look around and see what you can find. What have you found? Show them to me, if you would. Pages torn from Hitsatsi's journal. I do not mean to speak ill of the dead, but I must admit some surprise. He never struck me as someone committed enough to keep a journal. If he knew about the Remnant, this could prove invaluable. So, the blackguards have learned what we already know. The truth of the Remnant cannot be torn from my eggkin because they do not know it. Only their tribal relics can provide the answers. How did you learn the Brightthroat's riddle? You see, the voice of the Hist needs a conduit, some physical means of communication. The blackguards failed to acquire the Brightthroat's chime, but they clearly mean to steal some relic from the Deadwater tribe. Bold. Or spectacularly stupid. Precisely. You know one of the tribe's calls, don't you? Jaksik Orn, if I recall correctly. Find her, and plead our case. If the Deadwater tribe has some way of learning more about the Remnant, we need to find it before the blackguards do. Safe travels. When you've concluded your business with the Deadwater tribe, meet me back at Cyrodiilic Collection's headquarters in Lilmuth. We're getting close. I can almost feel it. Please, don't mistake my stoic demeanor for a lack of enthusiasm. All of this is tremendously exciting. But, in answer to your inquiry, yes, the primacy of these relics is a thrilling discovery. It supports a theory of mine about the Hist. Well, I wrote a treatise on the subject some years ago, a brisk 400 pages. But I suppose I can give you a summary. Argonians share a special relationship with their Hist. They hear its will, taste its decrees. Yes, well, that's just it. I can't hear the Hist. When I place my hands on the Hist's bark or rest in the shadow of its boughs, I hear nothing. No whispers, no faint smells or soothing tones. Just silence. Deafening silence. Thank you. I admit the silence troubles me, but do you see? My eggkin sometimes need intermediaries, too. With these antiquities, the chimes, the Deadwater relic, and eventually the Remnant itself, perhaps I'll finally hear something.
Box on dishonor. Kishi's life matters more than stupid traditions.
Kishi chose to save us. Outsiders will only make things worse.
Come, Dapasa. Beal has made her decision.
I spit at tradition and the cowardice it breeds. The Deadwater tribe is proud, set in its ways. But those ways will be the end of us. Even a stupid outsider can see such things. I mean no offense. We almost died during our trial of ascension. We would have too, except Kishi interfered and saved us. Now, by the laws of the Nagakor, the Deadwater tribe, Kishi has been sentenced to death. He should not have helped us, but I'm glad he did. The elders stand by our traditions, even as the tribe sinks into quicksand. They refuse to reach out for any aid that isn't prescribed by the Tree Minder or the Kadilith. Perhaps you could help Kishi. As an outsider, you aren't bound by our laws. Find Kishi's father, Boki. Tell him you want to help. He will know how to best utilize the outsider in this matter. Be mindful of Mewa Jez, though. She seized Kishi because he interfered. Oh, my spines quiver just imagining her reaction to an outsider. The path of the lily is sacred to our people. Hatchlings ascend to the rank of warrior by walking the path, ready to defend the tribe and survive the terrors of the swamp. Failure means death and a return to the Hist. Kishi interrupted that fate. I attempt to speak plainly. As Mewajez teaches, the swamp doesn't provide second chances, so why should we? If warriors can't succeed on their own, they endanger us all. Still, I am grateful I am alive to explain this. Kishi made that possible. Mewajez is our tribe's Kadilith, our war teacher. She trains our novices to walk the path of the lily. Since she took over the responsibility, the Deadwater warriors have become stronger and more powerful. At least the ones that survive. The path of the lily claims more lives than ever before. Kishi and his egg siblings were the last novices to complete the trial without injury, let alone death. More often now, entire clutches of novices fall to the dangers encountered on the path. Everything changes. The path, the Kadilith, training changes too, and expectations. Now novices die more quickly than new eggs can be hatched. Soon, the Deadwater tribe will simply be the Dead tribe. I think that's why Kishi dislikes Mewajez. I speculate now. Perhaps Kishi didn't want to see more novices perish due to lack of training. Or maybe his dislike of Mewajez got the better of him. Or it could have been temporary insanity. Regardless, He saved us, and I am grateful for that. Boki's home stands just within the village walls, on the western side of the Hist. Please, hurry, for Mewajez took Kishi away before the night had turned to day. If Kishi hasn't been consumed by a swamp beast yet, it won't be long now.
This work never ends.
I grind my fangs. This is a desecration.
I narrow my eyes. I know what you seek. You and the blackguards both. Sojay and I hack and cleave and stab, yet more Ojels swim over our borders every day. All looking for the remnant of Argon. I must find it first. I will find it first. My consider. We killed many savages together. We will do so again. If the Hist thinks you are worthy of remnant secrets, you will survive. If not, so be it. I hunt blackguards. They skulk around our village, yanking up our grave stakes like salt daisies. I arch my brow ridge. Special. Yes. Our grave stakes do not just pin the dead to their resting place. Each tells a story, some as old as the tribe itself. Some of our greatest Rajkals even had the honor of using a Hist bow to make their stakes. Yes. All the more reason to hack these blackguards dead. Meet me in the swamp east of the village. Our quarry is there. Many unstaked bog blights also. Freed from their dead, sleep by those thieving savages. Bare your fangs, Ojel. Time for war.
I'm busy.
Do you smell something unpleasant, Casca? What? Smells better, and I speak true. Will it leave our village soon?
Can't you see I'm busy?
I must finish this.
gathering all of the components. To honor change is to honor Sithis. All Saxhleel know this, but sometimes it is forgotten. As Niswo, it lies upon my shoulders to remind them. Would you help me in this endeavor? I wish to create a monument dedicated to the forces of change and chaos. I will take that which time has broken and create it anew in the name of Sithis. That is where your aid comes in. You must travel to echoes of our past, Sophir Cavern, the Teeth of Sithis, and the Tomb of Many Spears. There you will gather pieces from our days of stone nests. When all is collected, then I shall create. The beauty of change is undeniable. The crumbling stone of our foolish past, the sky bleeding red above a setting sun, the bloated face of a corpse as the skin begins to decay. Ah, to gaze upon such wonder. Tell me this. What is painted upon a blank canvas? Precisely, and it is only because of that nothing that something can be made. First there is nothing, then there is something. Thus is the will of all things. Thus is the will of Sithis. Sithis is the nothing between the something, the void which created all and will one day destroy it. The will of change, the inconstant which is our only constant. My art honors this will. I destroy what was and create what will be. I belong to the clutch of Niswo, a fellowship of sorts. In the dry-skinned tongue, we would be called nothing speakers, for we speak the words of that which is void, though we do not all speak the same words, of course. Why would we? Sithis is a being of multitude. It is the will of change, the force of chaos, the lust for bloodshed. Its words are many, and so the Niswo are many. But we all speak parts of the larger truth. Perhaps an example will help. I honor Sithis through my art. I see the something within the nothing, and create it. Through my actions, a lesson is learned. My mentor had a different approach. She would require offerings of blood. The greater the offering, the greater the honor. Some would sacrifice a scale or a fang, freshly plucked and bloodied. Others would offer fingers or the tips of their tails. One follower offered his heart. He died, of course. One must simply be accepted as a Vovaste, an apprentice in the dry-skinned tongue. I journeyed with my mentor for many seasons before she bestowed the title of Niswo upon me. Then I journeyed alone, spreading the dark word to many tribes. I speak but one truth. Through many seasons, this village will hear many words. It is from these many words that they will create their own truth. And though these truths will be different, they will all be, in the end, true. The Saxhleel do not require ease in our beliefs. We do not write words upon a page and request our followers to speak its unmoving words. Belief should be questioned, doubted, judged, and finally accepted. Only then is it truth. Sithis is a being of multitude. It is the will of change, the force of chaos, the lust for bloodshed. Its words are many, and so the Niswo are many. But
Here already. You are swift, Ogel. I will give you that. But enough flattery, I think. From now on, all is war talk. We seek the grave stakes of several Deadwater Carls, and vengeance. I know how we can claim both. The blackguards steal our fallen eggkin's grave stakes without regard for the stake's purpose. Now, the rivers choke on bog blights, dead and not dead things that eat Nagas whole. With cunning, we will see to it that they eat only blackguards. The blackguard savages build ponjis. This word means fumers. Racks of oily, spoiled meat that keep the bog blights off their scent. As we recover the grave stakes, destroy the fumers. The dead not dead will find our enemies and do the rest. This time we attack as one. One serpent, two heads. A single spear ant means nothing, but a hive means death. A bog blight is nothing to us alone, but when they gather in great numbers, great danger. Great glory also for those who fight them. My egg brother Sojay fell to the bog blights. Do not be. It was a glorious battle. And he fights with me still, you see. For the Deadwater, death is certain. But death brings new life. As shield and bow, or axe and knife. In time, the soul moves on. Everything changes, but nothing ends. I curl my lips. Poetic. Another word for soft, I think. Soft words belong to bright throats like Sukas. Enough egg-gazing, we have work to do. We call them Zulvats. They tell the stories of our victories, and our defeats. Tales from childhood, names of friends, dreams, nightmares. They also keep the dead down where they belong. In the mud. Often enough to earn a name. Bog blight. Many strange things stalk the deep murk, Ogel. Beasts of vine and stone. Giant Hajmota, ghost people, slimes, plants with maws like crocodiles. Dead not dead seem tame by comparison. I nod my head. Yes. Until some tail-lifting savage steals the stake. You see, we are back where we started. Good. The bog blights will feast on this camp soon enough. Yes. These blackguards will pay a high price for challenging the Deadwater tribe. Well done. Now travel north. We will raid their main encampment and finish this. Over here, Odell. I know I spoke of fighting as one, but these two were too loud and foolish. So Jay and I had to kill them. Before they died, they spoke of the Remnant and the Hist Woodgrave stakes. One shouted at the other about a relic they could not find. The grave stake of a Chronocall, the great Deadwater war chief called Etra of the Many Spears. Few Deadwater warriors rival Etra. He is Wutum. You would say legend, I think. I blink my eyes. Maybe. Reading Azulvat is Gravesinger work. We cannot know until we claim the stake. You will have to fight him for it. All Deadwater Carls know Etra's resting place. Look west and follow the ridgeline. His tomb is there. My tail sinks. Etra is buried in the Tomb of Many Spears, an unclean place. Vahat, or taboo in the dry tongue. Sojay and I cannot fight there, but you can. If you can pry the stake away from Etra, bring it to the Gravesinger's lodge. I will reclaim your body and make a helm of your skull. You have earned that, at least. Why do you slump? Bristle your war spines. Etra was a legend, true. But what you fight is not Etra. It is the pieces not needed, bound together by slime and old-time magic. A beast to crush and cleave. Take your weapon and strike true. A call has no tongue for stories. But I will do my best. The Nahish elders say that Etra had a soul older than the tribe. Even before he hatched, the egg handlers heard him chanting from inside his tiny shell. Blood, death, glory. I shake my head. A hero to us. Not to you, I think. Etra rolled across the marsh like a thunderhead, felling great trees, slaying huge beasts, and eating the hearts of great warriors. Often, Etra would take his opponent's grave stakes as a trophy. He stored them in the great stone vault that eventually became his tomb. The place where you will face him. The tomb of many spears. One dark day, a great slime claimed the vault. When Etra learned of this, he grew furious and attacked. He did not. He died in glory. Many great Deadwater Calls raided the tomb, seeking pieces of Etra. Bones or sinew to make mighty weapons. They all died. Now their corpses, and what remains of Etra's, stalk the tomb forever. Like I said, Vahat. I roll my eyes. If you do not hurry, I will end up telling the story of the slow-legged Ojel who lost the remnant of Argon. Go now. Be swift. pride in your work.
Do you smell something unpleasant, Casca? What must you prove?
Then, is it Etra's story on the gravestake? Or the Hist's?
Both, my Carl. What is our story, if not the story of the Hist?
I see them return. You destroyed Etra? Good. Let that victory rattle the roots. Gravesinger Kiat tells me what we seek is not in the gravestake symbols, but in the wood itself. I do not know how to read wood, but he says I must. I shake my head. It is a gravestake like the others. I do not even know what to look for. The symbols are worn. But wait. I see it. In the grain. In the whorls and knots. The remnant. It swims in the wood. I can almost touch it. Patience! There are words. In a garden in a maw of stone. Yes, that is all. I see nothing more. This is what we hunted for. A garden. I hiss fire. Why could it not be more simple? Chaos. There must be more. What do you know that we do not? What is us? The bumbler, Famia, Zukas, the dry-scale Cassandra. A nest of weak spines in Ogel treachery. I will not. I am sorry. The Deadwater are a suspicious people. But you deserve my respect. And my trust. I will join you in Lilmuth.
This work is not. Keeping myself busy here.
Please, you must understand. We only seek the remnant to... Ah, there you are. Ah, thank Mara you're here. I haven't seen a gathering go this poorly since my sister Concordia's 7th birthday. Marinus put slugs in her pudding. I can still hear the screams. Whew. For the record, I did offer tea, but what's needed is answers. A location, clearly. But a location for what? I did some more research on the first riddle, the one about smoke and sap, remember? Well, after combing through a half-dozen dissertations, I'm pretty confident it's referring to a dream wallow. It's an Argonian religious practice, sort of. I've never witnessed one myself, but they typically involve a period of isolation and exposure to potent, mind-altering herbs. According to the text, a dream wallower can see things beyond the physical. Yes, now if we could wait. A garden in a maw of stone? Of course! That's gotta be the Swallowed Grove, the Rionwo. A dream wallow in the Swallowed Grove. What could be more exciting? We should discuss this with Cassandra right away.
The Rion Woe. Many strange things stalk the Swallowed Grove, Bigos.
Strange or not.
A dream wallow in the Swallowed Grove. Fascinating. And timely. Very well done, both of you. Immediately. I hate to set out in such a hurry, as careless haste can be fatal in this profession. Unfortunately, we cannot afford to wait. Thank you for all you've done, my friend. The remnant of Argon is almost within our grasp. Just look at us. A bright-throat negotiator, a Deadwater Call, an alley tough Naga, 2 scholars and a hero. As unlikely a party as any I've seen before. I can only hope that discovering the remnant will tighten these bonds of fellowship. The grove is north of Alton Mirhalil, tucked away near a roaring waterfall if memory serves. I will make my personal ferry available to all here assembled. Join us, or walk if you prefer. I'd only ask that you avoid any unnecessary delays. Long years of bitter disappointment have trained me to measure my expectations. We will find something in the grove, I am certain of it. But this Dream Wallow business... The Hist will not make this easy. Not for you, and certainly not for me.
My hatchling lives because of you. I tell all.
This is